What was the very first thing that made you think this story deserves to become a film?
Because I was, I don't know, I'm always working in a way that I'm writing a lot of different ideas. And in one moment, all these ideas were coming to the same direction, which was the main question of the film, which is how far parents will go to save their daughter's life.
Yes.
And then the other connection with all these ideas was that I realized that in a way, they are all connected with the topic of lies and manipulation. And I think that this was like super interesting to tell the story that it's concentrated in the family dynamics.
Okay, and the film, like you talk, deals with family, illness and love. Which of those themes was the hardest to direct without falling into cliches?
Like the topic of eating disorder is super complicated, super sensitive, and I put for sure the biggest amount of research that I was consulting with doctors. I spoke with girls that had a similar situation as character Clara, in the same age, and also for me it was, it's kind of a crucial to understand the characters that me as a male in a different position, in a different life situation, that I can like fully understand. And then it super helped me because one of my friend that had a similar issue in her age, she sent me parts of diaries that she wrote at that time. And because it was so authentical, it super helped me to understand what's going on in Clara's head, how she feels in that moment of her life. And it was also, I think, my friend was also, there was something connected with the crisis in the family at that time. So it kind of helps me to fully understand
like her feelings.
Yeah,
also,
her feelings,
no?
and the logic of the character. So that was something that, because anyhow, it's not only story about her, the position of the main character, it's a bit more in the perspective of parents. But on the other hand, she's such she really needs to be like authentical character, that it's kind of pushing all the decisions of their parents into the boundaries of questioning their morality.
Always, yes.
Yeah.
And how did you work with the actors to make their relationship feel so authentic in the film?
We had a lot of rehearsals. First we were rehearsing with Dex and Tonda. We spent a lot of time talking about the screenplay, doing improvisations, actually not even doing the dialogues of the screenplay. This is something that I put totally in the end of preparation. But it was more about situations and subjects that were kind of part of the screenplay, but they are not in the screenplay. For example, like separation of parents. What kind of separation of parents is, how the situation looked like where the kids were at that time. These things are super important, and it's important not to talk about them, but also to try to act, to go through this situation, to make improvisations, like acting improvisations.
Yes.
So I totally believe that helped them a lot to understand what these characters went through before the film starts. So that was the main, a method how we approach to working on this film.
So interesting. And what personal lesson do you take with you after directing this film?
Personal lesson?
Yes.
I'm still kind of fascinated how lies are working in this film, in a sense of that mostly till the end it looks like that they're solving all the problems of our characters. So actually, if parents won't do the crucial mistake of forgetting all the time about the Theo, the youngest one in the family, probably they would be all kind of living in kind of a happy lives, even if it's based on lies and manipulation. But they would be totally satisfied with what they achieve. They would be maybe even kind of proud upon themselves that they managed to solve that kind of situations so smartly, you know. So it's something that it kind of fascinates me, and yeah.
Barry told us that he learns the most with you. Like you as a person, he learns the most of this film, like knowing you.
Oh, that's super nice. No, we really became friends. That's such a nice thing to work with people that you appreciate very much and then even become friends. That's very nice.
And the last one, sorry, if the audience could leave the theater with one single question in their minds, what would you want it be?
I think it's a very simple one. It's just questioning what I'll be doing if I'll be in the position of the parents. It's because you can judge them, but at the same time you can understand their behavior, and in that moment there is this contradiction of what does it mean if I understand them but I'm judging them? You know, it's like then what I'll be doing if I'll be in a similar situation. So and when you start thinking about that, you start thinking about a lot of things that you did in your life that maybe you forgot about them, or you thought that everything was okay in how you behaved,
yes.
But then you realize that it wasn't behaved, and it wasn't okay because it's so tender when we are talking about generational dynamics, multi-generational dynamics.
And the end of the film shows Theo calling the police, but there's no scene.
With the police.
Yes. What would you think that if the police came, what would it happen? Apart Clara being crazy.
I know. It's probably many. I can imagine a lot of very problematical things. I can imagine even that police will come and they will say, parents will say, no, everything is okay, and then they will go. But it doesn't. There is still a lot of pressure upon Theo. I can imagine that in a few years he would be thinking about that he would kind of call the police and
he will be also crazy.
Put a bomb into his own family. So that's why actually I didn't want to see this scene, because then you put on the table just like one truth, or one possible
like an end.
Revealing the events, but I don't see it as an open ending so much, you know, because there is a full stop at the end of the last line, like Theo is really making a decision in this film. But about the aftermath of his action, we can totally imagine what can happen. So
yeah.